Hi everyone, it's Deborah, welcome back. Today I'm going to be using some of these 3" by 12" pieces of cardstock that I've got, because I've got a lot of them after I made my 9" book the other day, so I need to try and work out some ways to use them up. Now first of all, I want to apologise for the sound quality of a couple of my recent videos. I tried something new and clearly it didn't work. So I've gone back to my old method and hopefully this is better for you all. So I thought that I could make some little booklet things. I'm not sure, I'm just going to cut this first. So this is a 12 by 12, and to maximise the paper I'm going to cut it, sorry, it's a 12 by 3. To maximise the paper I'm going to cut it into 6 by 3, and then I think I'm going to fold it up. So I'm going to start by scoring just probably maybe 3/4 of an inch on the bottom. I think that looks about right. Yeah. And then I want to fold it down just so it catches in that little piece that I folded up. So I'll just fold the other one the same 3/4 inch. And then I'll move this so we can see what's happening on the table. The table's got a bit of glue on it, but you just have to put up with that. I haven't cleaned it, that's why. Now I'm just going to fold it down, just probably maybe 1/8 of an inch, if that, just so it catches in there. And then just use the score tool to push it without hopefully it moving too much. So I've just caught it in there, can you see that? Just in that. And then I'm going to add some paper in. So let's start with some of this, which should be about the right size. And with this one, I'm tearing it with my ruler. I'm not going to bother cutting it in the cutter. Let's just get that torn. And it's going to become a little bit of paper in here. So first of all, I want to see what size I can get out of this. I think I can probably get 3 pieces like that, hopefully. And that looks pretty good, so just squish that down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this one off. And that's going to be my 3rd piece. I might put it in the centre because it's a bit of a different size. And then that is going in there. And I've got a stapler. You can use brads or something to put this together, but I'm just being lazy and going to use my stapler. And I'm stapling about the halfway mark in terms of from the top to the bottom, and I'll probably put 3 in. Let's just get 3 staples in there. And that has created like a little matchbook. So you stick that in your journal and then you can open it up and it becomes a little writing surface that you can then fold down. I might just do another one of those very quickly because I like that idea. I might actually put some into a page as well. I've got one of the pages here. Now, would you believe, I think that you're probably not going to believe this, but I have run out of Tim Holtz cardstock, the 12 by 12. So I had to get on this morning and order more. Some will be here tomorrow and the other lot is coming from the US, so it's not going to be here for another 2 weeks. But I'll just have to put up with that and wait for it, won't I? I thought these might look really cute if you put them down on the corner of that page. Just get my glue and do that. So sometimes when you're on YouTube and you're a YouTuber, you do things and you don't realise what's happening when people are watching it. So thank you very much to the person who reached out and let me know that the sound quality wasn't great on the last couple of videos. I appreciate it very much, because as YouTubers, we're, you know, certainly for me, and I'm sure for many other YouTubers, we're working away, we're producing content, and we don't actually get a chance to actually look at that content at any time. And therefore we end up not knowing what's going on, and unless you as viewers let us know, and it's a bit hard to keep up with it all. So thank you very much. I'm not sure who that was, I'm just trying to think, but anyway, I really appreciate it. Now I've just put a bit of washi on there because I didn't like the look of those staples, and I will just rip that off. I think that's the last, come to the end of that washi. I might have enough to do the next one. Because that's plastic, often these will be paper and the last bit will have paper all over it and it won't be sticky. But this one's not, it's plastic, so I can actually do it. Now once that's in the book, I can put that down there and it's not going to come out, it's going to stay there. So when I flip it over, I'm going to be able to flip that up and put, you know, write on their journal in there. So if I just do the same with this one, because they are the ideal size for this little matchbook cards. These are 3-inch wide papers. Now your papers don't have to be the same size. You can see in this one, I'll show you in a moment, I tore another piece of that tea-dyed copy paper off, and it was different sizes when I tore it, so it doesn't all have to be the same height as the original little matchbook is. It doesn't really matter if it's not. So that one goes in there, and you can see again it's barely 1/8 of an inch that I've tucked that in. And this one I might put on this side. Okay, and I haven't put my staple in very well on one side, I just noticed, but what I'm going to do now is put more washi on the top of it so you're not actually going to be able to see it. If I put that there, and we can hide that staple by putting some washi over the top. Also, this will stop any issues with catching yourself on that staple if you've got some washi. The washi's thin, but it still manages to work quite well for that. Takes away that sharpness of the staple. And that is like using the washi to the very end. Got my money's worth out of that one. I just seem to be running out of everything lately, so I had to get onto Amazon this morning and order stuff. I can't be without my Tim Holtz paper. I do have a lot of 8x8, but I really love this. So I bought the Memoranda, the Wallflower, and the French Industrial. So I'll have 3 new packs of paper to play with then, because it's my favourite. So that is one idea of what to do with these little scraps. Now, I know that they are lengthways like this, so you know, when you turn them this way, I think that they've got enough on them in terms of different things in different directions. It doesn't matter if they're turned sideways. Something like that, you probably want to keep that sideways. Although I guess it'll look just as nice if it was up that way. I'll have a go with that one in a moment. So with this one, I'm thinking about making a pocket. Now on the back I've got that blue, so I don't really like that. So I think I'm going to just put this so that it's going to do a pocket for me. And then turn this edge up. And again, I could score this, but I'm just going to do it using the score tool and folding rather than scoring. And I'll clip these edges, so get rid of that bulk on the inside. I might score this down the edge now and create a gusset in it as well. I'm scoring it just with a 1/2 inch on the bottom, and that way I can create a little flap on the bottom. Fold that up first. Now if you're wondering what I'm wearing, I've got my plaid on today, or flannel, or whatever you call it, and the reason is because it's quite cold today, and I'm rugging up, and this is actually one of my dad's old shirts that I'm wearing. I like to wear them, and when he passed away I took some of them so that I could wear them, and it's perfect for this beautiful winter day here in Brisbane. And that's why you're seeing the plaid looking a bit like a lumberjack or something. Not that he was that, he just liked them. Put that in there, and then all I have to do now is determine the side I want. Probably that side I think would be the front, but this really doesn't matter at the moment. I don't have to make that decision currently. So this will be a long skinny pocket. Now I guess 2 different ways that you could use this. One would be as a sideways pocket like this, Let's just get that down and just get this burnished so the glue adheres a bit better. I think that just makes it work a bit better. Oh, speaking of glue, just before I go on, somebody asked me what glue I used, and this is what I'm using at the moment. I chop and change a fair bit, but this is, it's very hard to see though, is Couture Creations. It's called Quick Dry Adhesive. So it's from Couture Creations. It works really well. I'm really happy with this, and I've used a bottle, in fact 3 or 4 bottles now, right to the end. What I like about it, it remains runny the whole time. Now I was using the Helmer's 450 and I was a big fan of that, except it just started to dry out, and so I looked for something else and I thought I'd try this one, and so far I'm super happy with it. Now let's look at this. I just need to refold this paper a little bit. Don't think I've ever done that, probably why it's off a bit. So with this you could do a pocket down the bottom of the page, and obviously then you would be able to put some things in it like that, but you could also turn it up the other way and have it as a side tuck pocket. There's nothing to stop you doing that. Quite like that. It's a nice big fat pocket because I've gusseted it, and it's really good for using skinny papers, which is what I'm trying to do today, is to use up some of the skinnies. Now with this one, it's really pretty, isn't it? I like the stripes too. I think with this one, it's, just check this measurement of my ruler. It should be 3. Oh no, it's only 2 3/4. Let's see if I can find one that's 3 inches. This looks 3 inches. Yeah, this one's 3 inches here. So what I'm going to do with this one is, I think that these are quite good because I can create a Rita Donnelly flip with these skinnies. Let's just fold that, and again you could score this. I'm not bothering. I'm just going to fold that. So it's 3 by 12. So this should give me what I need. So if I fold this here, and normally I fold this in the triangle because it's very difficult to actually get this done in the score tool, I think. Other people might have more luck, but I just haven't managed it. So I just manually fold that too. So if that's there, now I'm going to cut this. Yeah, I'll cut it in half. Now I'll probably just put that in the cutter as well, because that was a bit dodgy what I just did then. That's better. There you go. And then I can fold this other piece down like here. Just get that nice and straight. So you can see there I just did a gentle fold, and now I'll go in with my scoring tool and burnish it. So I get a nice crisp fold, and then back to back fold them over. It's been quite cold in Brisbane the last few weeks actually, unseasonably cold. We don't usually get this much cold. Quite interesting. I think I'm going to fold this in the other way, like that, so that I have the flip go up. So now if I put this here on the corner, I might put it onto that other page actually. Oh, I've got those corners done, haven't I? Maybe I can put it up the top though. I suppose. Oh no, then you can't create a pocket with it. Oh, drama. Okay, let's put it on this one. So if I put this on the corner like this, and then it will flip up. But now I realise that I've turned it the other way and I don't like that, so I have to turn it all back. Let's turn it back so we get the pretty on it when you open it up. And that would then flip up. And then on this side, it would flip up. Now it's looking a bit backwards. If I change this around onto this edge here, so I'm putting the fold on the bottom corner rather than the side part. And then this one here, it's still a bit upside down. But that's okay, I'm going to live with that. So that would then be a good size for a Rita Donnelly flip. And that just means that you've got something you can flip up. You could put something else on here to write on here if you wanted to, but I'm just going to write on top of that. And then you also leave it so you've got a little pocket in here. So that's just a matter of making sure when you glue it that you glue it correctly and down the straight edge here, and then through this center fold here to get it down on the bottom bit, and then put it in. So I'll just stick that in and pull it down because it's not quite in the right place, and get it in there. Just make sure that's tucked in there correctly. It's a bit, I think I might have done a bit off. You don't want it to be on an angle. You want it to be level on both sides so it forms the corner of the page. And that's fine, and that's fine. And then I should have in here a little pocket and a little pocket. So because this paper is only skinny, I think this one's probably the 3-inch wide, then that's going to form a little pocket, but it's still a pocket. And then you've got the glue down the side there, and then I just put that glue in the fold. So I think that that's quite cute too. So now the other thing you can do, because I need some tags, is you can cut them into tags. So this is, again, it's 12 inches. So I'm just going to cut it into, what, probably 4 inches, I think. 3 4-inch measurements, yeah. So I'm cutting it at the 4-inch mark, and that will form 3 tags, and I'll just turn them into tags. Again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to have that slight tag shape, or you can cut a larger tag shape, really up to you. Now, these tags will actually fit into that little pocket. They're a little bit too big, but they'll stay in there. You could put them in there, or you could put them in the other one that I did before. So let's stick this into the book as well, or onto this page, which will become part of the book. I just have to determine the side. I think I like that side better. So I may as well just put this in while I'm working through it. Then I can grab all these pages out later and just use them. As I'm finding them, I can put them into a journal. Make another really quick journal with all this stuff. So you can put these in here. So I didn't make a pocket at the back because I think that there's plenty of room in this particular pocket anyway. I just made left the original pocket that I've done. Let's put the tag shape up. I've got the tag, didn't put the tag shape up there. So they're those 3, but because this is so big, you can get something bigger than that in here, which I might make something for that now. Let's just look at other bits that we've got. So with this one here, I'm thinking maybe I can do like a long one, and that's up that way. Seeing what else I can do with this. Probably do like a really long tag with this one, couldn't I? If I cut it at the halfway point, I'll have a really sort of a 6-inch long tag. But I wanted to do something a bit more than that with it. I'm going to start by folding this in half. Then I'm going to get some more of that tea-dyed paper. I was tearing something apart before with it. This one here. And that should be long enough, shouldn't it? Yeah. It's not going to be terribly wide, but that's okay. It is what it is. It's what I've got. So I'm going to use what I've got and make the best of it. Just put this down here. Get that reasonably straight. Again, you could do this in your trimmer if you wanted to, but why do it in the trimmer when you can just rip it off like that? And then I like how that opens up there. Maybe I'll just put this bit in here. That might be a bit of a nuisance when I go to use it if that's there, but I can't really do that, can I? No, I'm going to have to tear that piece off. Okay, we'll tear this piece off. No worries, I can do that easily. And then I'll stack them on top of one another. And now I'm going to put them in here. Now, I think I'm going to staple them as well. I'll start with a staple in the centre. My staple gun's decided to not work. Let's try again. I think it was a user problem, but I'm not admitting that. Okay, let's put this in here. And then, because I've done that, I'm going to take my ruler and just give it a bit of a score just under those staples. And I think then, when I put that up, you'll see that it's much easier to fold that up and use those papers. So that would be another sort of little booklet. And I'll have to get some more washi and put across there. See where I can use this one. Put it on there, or I could put it on, how are we going with this one? I've got a fair bit on here. I could put it up the top there, couldn't I? And then you could flip it up and use it like that. Okay, just wondering if I'm going to do that. Actually, I might not do that. I might use a paper clip and clip this on. And so I'll put some washi on the back as well so that the staples don't catch your hand as you're using it. I've just got a bit more washi, and I'm going to put some across the back and some across the front. Just because I don't want to have those staples just being there and not being covered. And also I think it looks nicer without the staples showing. I'll just get that there. Yeah, and then I can get a paper clip later and do a little clip and clip that to a page. And you've got a cute little journal, little spot to write in then. Now, the next thing I wanted to do was perhaps I'll take this piece here, which is another piece of tea-dyed copy paper, and I'll just fold that again, get that nice fold. Now with this one, I'm going to use the papers sort of on their side. So I was saying before about using something like that, and you could use it this way, but I don't think it looks too bad if it's up like this. But I could just stick that on there, but I think I want to do a bit more than just do that. So to that end, I've got a couple of other things out. So here's some paper here. Now I'm going to tear the page numbers off, because that's the bit that I want to put on here. And I think I'm going to tear it again, actually. Just tear this little bit. And get that off there. And I thought that maybe I could tuck this under slightly, or maybe it has to go on top like this. It's definitely too long though. I'm going to have to cut it or tear it apart. So I just tear this there. And what I'm doing is creating a side tuck. So a pocket on the side, and that's why I'm looking for linear. So if I just see where that's got to come to and mark it with a pencil so I know where to cut it. Maybe a piece of book page. If I just tear something down here and get a little strip. I don't want the edge of the page because I don't want the margin that'll look a bit too, I don't know what the word is, but I don't think that'll look any good. Oh, I've got 2 pieces there. So I'm going to put this here. I'm just seeing how this might work as a composition. That's okay. And then I might just put another piece of something else down the side here. So start with the actual piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to stick the cardstock across here as well, so the extra bits will just be decorative. They won't actually be part of the pocket, but you won't know that when you're looking at it. You will when you come to use it, but that's fine. And I'm going to pull this down so it's right on the edge. Tear that off. It also makes it much easier when sticking these really thin papers and not trying to make a pocket out of them, because they are quite thin. You don't want them sort of ripping as you're putting things in and out of your pocket. And then that one can go up there. Okay, just get some more glue. Get that on there. Make sure the words are up the correct way. Although if it doesn't bother you, you don't have to have them up the correct way. But as you probably know by now, it drives me a little crazy. And then I'll pull that around. Actually, I'll take that off because it's pulling off anyway. And then just a little bit sort of down, maybe down here. So you've got the 3 layers. That's better. All right, let's put this on so that it's down to the bottom. There you go, and you've got something that's a bit different in your journal, and you've still got a pocket in here. So that little booklet that I did before would fit really well in here, I think. There you go, don't need the paper clip, I've put that in there instead. How cute does that look? Very nice. So that's another thing. Now let's see what else we've got. There's quite a few actually. So obviously you could just do them as pockets, but I'm really trying to come up with something else. I just had a thought then. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by cleaning up this mess a little bit. And I will score this because I want it to score down the centre. That's just... So it's 3 inches. I'm going to score it at 1.5 inches and fold. And now, let's get that burnished. And I'm going to measure the edge of my paper. So this is, it should be 8 1/4 because it's a typical A4 page, so it's 8 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down, this piece I've just done, so it is 8 1/4 as well. Now this is just decorative, but it also will give a nice firm edge to the side of the piece of copy paper. So it's like creating a little band along the side. Okay, I think I'll go with this idea. I just thought of it, and why not? We'll just stick this on here, right, so the page is in there, and then flip it over and stick the back part on. And again, I'll just burnish that because it helps that glue adhere. And that's what I think anyway. As long as I think it works, and it must work. And there you go. So I've got a nice little edge now on the side of the page, and it's a bit thicker, and therefore it's got more structure. I quite like that idea, and it's a good use of these little scraps, something I haven't tried before either. So I think that's fine. I'm happy with those so far. I have to try and think up more ideas and see what else I can do with my paper scraps. But I think that's enough for now. So thank you for watching and joining me today, and I will catch you tomorrow. This is Deborah. Cheers.